different time zones. We are excited today, actually. I mean, we have been actively seeking for, I mean, like the new ways how to really find values for the Canary members of all of you, like you all of you, to be able to really improve, the value proposition for your end customer. So we have excited, I mean, today because we have SameGuard, they are also the technology partner of Canary, how we can leverage Canary and then build on top of their specialization on advanced analytics using AI. So AI is a very like a keywords today, game changer. You can call it differentiator. So to be really staying ahead or falling behind, that is the crossroad for all of us today. So I hope this session will be good. All of us we can really learn. I mean, we make it become a hybrid session after some presentation from Maya and Hisham. Then we will see how we can ask them some expert questions. How we can really help us, to do some good pitching and really exactly how to really give a good value to the customer and we all profit from it. Yeah. So I let Maya. Maya, you first, and then Hisham, that you can introduce yourself. Yeah.
Sure. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Joe. And thank you, Laura, for hosting us today. My name is Maya Rubin. I work for Samsung for the last 5 years, working as VP Customer Success. Uh, Prior my working in Samsung, I've been working for more than 10 years in different industries, in different engineering, process engineering. Really nice to see you all today, and I hope that it will be a very interesting session for you. Thank you. Hisham?
Yeah, thank you very much, Maya. Thanks, Joey. Hi, everyone. It's great to be here with you today. I'm Hisham Omri, the Global Partnership Director for SamGuard at Samsung Group, based in Frankfurt, Germany. So thank you very much for your presence, and I hope it will be an insightful session for everyone.
Okay,
So,
so once all the introductions are done, so I think you can just start with the presentation.
s- I think we should move directly to the my slide. Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much. So I'd like to start by this slide or by talking about one of the biggest hidden costs in manufacturing, unplanned downtime. So as you can see on this slide, big manufacturers lose more than $1.4 trillion every year. That's around 11% of their revenue just gone. And this isn't numbers on a slide, it's real lost production, wasted resources, and missed opportunities. And the good news is this problem can be solved. And this is exactly where SamGuard comes in, helping companies reduce downtime and keep operations running smoothly. And let me show you how. So if we move to the second slide. So, SamGuard was founded back in 2011 by Precognize, which later became part of the Samsung Group in 2018. Since then, we have grown globally with a presence across 5 key regions, supporting manufacturers everywhere. Today, more than 50 plants around the world are using SamGuard, including leaders like Titan, Ajinomoto, Inues, Bandalti, ICL, Bazan Group, and more. They rely on SamGuard to keep their production stable and efficient. And we are not doing this alone. We also work with over 15 partners worldwide who are building consistent, reliable revenue with SamGuard. So together, this combination of proven technology, trusted customers, and a strong partner network makes SamGuard a real game changer for the industry. So the next slide. So how does SamGuard actually work in practice? First, it gives you smart AI alerts. So instead of hundreds of alarms, you only get notified about what really matters exactly when it matters. Second, it creates a live digital map of your plant, showing how everything is connected in real time. It's also flexible. It works with any equipment, any failure type, and any manufacturer. We have already proven this across many industries. And the best part is you stay in control wherever you are through mobile alerts or our dashboard. Plus, our process engineers are there to help you make sense of the data and guide the right actions. So before we move to the next slide, I want to elaborate a little more regarding our service. So behind SamGuard is a team of expert process engineers. One of them is Maya, is available with us today. So who work hand in hand with your team. They review the alerts, validate the findings, and help translate them into clear actions and recommendations. So you are not just getting data, you are getting insight and guidance that you can trust. The next slide. So how it works. Let me quickly explain how SamGuard actually work in your plant. It all starts with the sensors you already have. They generate the data about your process. Things like temperature, pressure, flow, and so on. That data first goes into your process control system, whether that's a DCS, SCADA, PLC, MES, or M1. And from there, it's usually stored in data historian. Is there any question? Shall I keep on?
Yeah, that's good. Proceed. Sorry, I forgot to mute.
Yes. Okay, thank you. So please feel free to stop me anytime and ask a question. So SamGuard then simply connects to the data historian to continuously read and analyze the data. If you don't have a historian, no problem. With your permission, we can also connect directly to the DCS system or other control system to access the data. Once the data is connected, SamGuard automatically detects anomalies, whether it's quality issues, equipment health concerns, or unusual process behavior, giving you early warnings before problems escalate. The other slide. So now SamGuard doesn't just look at raw data. It puts everything into context. We analyze your P&IDs together with the historian data to understand how your process really works, how equipment is connected, and what normal behavior looks like. This deeper understanding means SamGuard doesn't just flag anomalies, it identifies the ones that truly matters for your specific process and filters out the rest. That's why the alerts you get are meaningful, not just noise. So SamGuard do not send you an alert about a fake anomaly. Any questions here?
No, fully understood.
The next slide then. So here how it works. First, the system detects anomalies and sends smart alerts before failures happen. Then it helps you optimize operations with actionable insights, improving efficiency and reducing downtime. On top of that, it provides recommendations and personalized alerts so you can take immediate action. So what SamGuard actually does, SamGuard compares the historical data with the current data. Whenever there is an abnormal behavior or an anomaly detected that falls above or below the normal pattern, then SamGuard will send you an alert. And those alerts are usually sent weeks or even months before the issue escalates and becomes a real problem. So this is it from my side, and Maya will present some use cases for you. So Maya,
Thank you, Isham.
thank you.
I will try to switch. Oh, perfect. Okay. And
But I have a question here, Omri.
sure.
Okay. My question is basically some of the client might not be having any how to say that historian, right? Example like Pi or maybe Canary. They only have up to the OPC. Can we integrate directly from their OPC to SamGuard?
I think probably Maya could elaborate on that. Yeah.
Okay. Usually, in case that you do not have historian and you only keep a short period of historia, what we can do is that we can become your own historian for our product for SamGuard, and then we take the data and save it in order to show you the alerts that will come out from our system and to build the models.
Okay, understood. All right.
Okay. Perfect. So then I would be happy to present several use cases. I will begin from the first one. Here we talk about a boiler, and we talk about a boiler feed water, which I'm sure that all of us understand and know very well that has to be maintained. The pH might impact in a bad way in case it will be too low, as it will hurt, first of all, and damage the boiler due to corrosion, but also later on it will be dangerous for the steam system, as the boiler produce from the boiler feed water steam, and then this steam goes to very, very critical equipment, and in case that we're not maintaining the pH, we will have problems later on. What we can see here in our trend is that the alert has detected a drift down. I think I have delay in my pointer. I'm sorry. Okay. So as you can see, we have a drift down in the pH. Very shortly after the beginning of the decrease, SamGuard alerted about this phenomena. No alert was produced in the control room, and that allowed to the team to go and check. When they checked, they saw that the dosage pump is actually working, and it should dose this ammonia, which maintains the pH, but actually they had a blockage. And due to this blockage, actually they did not dose any ammonia to maintain the pH to stay on the right level. After the detection, and thanks to the detection, they did several activities that allow them to come back to normal value of pH and maintain the pH in the boiler feed water in order to make sure that the steam system is reliable. So this is an example where the customer estimated the potential value from $10,000 to $100,000. Why do we have this range? Because it's an estimated cost from the minimum damage that could have happened and to the maximum damage that could have happened due to this, if this alert would have been overlooked. Any questions about this event alert? Okay.
No.
Moving on. Yes, please.
No further question.
Perfect. Okay. Next use case is talking about a compressor in a power plant. Here what we have, but I think that compressor is actually relevant for much more than power plants. Here what we have are 4 signals of axial displacement, which were suddenly constant. They were stagnated. Now the stagnation was on the value 0. Now I'm sure again that all of us here are aware about the fact that 0 means aligned. So for an operator, there would not be any motivation to move to a trend and to see that it is actually stagnated, because when he looks at the values on the screen, he sees 0, and that means that everything is fine. And also the same for the alert in the control system. There would never be an alert in the control system as this value is acceptable. It is a very good and acceptable value. Therefore, this alert was very essential and would have been overlooked without SameGuard. What the team inspected when they checked our alert is that actually all those 4 signals were connected to one information card, and this card was faulty, and due to that, they were actually blind. And in case of a real compressor issue with the vibration and the axial displacement, they would have come to a severe damage to the compressor. This alert was estimated of minimum $100,000 of estimated damage, both to equipment as well as production losses. And the alert was triggered very quickly and allowed the team to be aware about something that was very difficult to detect. Moving to the next use case. This use case is talking about food and beverage, and we talk about heat exchanger here. What we see here is a temperature control valve. We can see in the yellow trend the PV, the process value. We can see in green the set point, and we can see the MV in a brown. And what we can see here is this heat exchanger is working properly all the time, but suddenly something is changing where we marked in a green background. And we can see that suddenly the value, the PV, is not stable anymore. Now, again, this is very tricky because in the acceptable, so this is why no and will notice that there are actually that has been now much higher than before, and therefore with our alert, the team managed to check this and to see that there is a blockage, there is a plug which they need to fix. Now, this is a good example actually of a situation which they cannot stop the operation. They have decided to keep going, go to failure. But why is it so essential even here? And personally, in my background process engineer, I really like this event because run to failure, it's also a decision. And with the information that you have a problem, you have the power to control this run to failure. You will not be surprised. You will manage the process with the knowledge that sometime in the next weeks or maybe months, it will fail. And in this time, you have the time to prepare. You can check spare parts, you can check if there is a redundant equipment that you can prepare. So also for run to failure, I find it very essential to have the knowledge and the power to control and manage the situation. And I think this is the last use case. Hisham, please.
I think this one goes back to us again. Yeah.
Oh,
No, I think
sorry.
just a short one, just to also going back to before continue to the next few slides. So why data is important? So as Canary members, I think probably we have to understand. We also always agree that the importance of every AI to make it works, how to train it to be very accurate and useful, you do need some historical data. So probably you can minimum 6 months or 1 year. The more you have, that's going to be even better. So that's why SameGuard has been working with Canary in a strategic position, because Canary is one of the partner in the market that can really provide, raw data, that really store all the raw data to good for your compliance, large volume, high performance, and long term. And I think the best is that it's not just only can be for the partners who leverage on Canary to work with SameGuard. Sometime, I mean, when you heard I think sensitively you talk about Pi and Aviva, so SameGuard does have Pi customer as well. In a way, Canary can be also pairing together with SameGuard to go into some customer that can be co-survive with Pi architecture. That doesn't, really a problem, that how we can eventually have the best solution to the customer. So if there is open door for you, just only going in with a Pi and SAMGuard together, it works. But if not, I mean, you can also co-survive with Canary. Canary is definitely, I would say, a plan that is very important for the customer eventually to do a data lake. But one of the partial plan on that. Yeah. Dora, another next one. So I think the role of us writing, I think is very important, because why SameGuard and why Canary is because when Canary collect all the data from the ground, OPC, UA, MQTT, CSV, so we store all the data, and then we actually forwarding the data to SameGuard. So SameGuard actually will develop, I mean, a kind of like a connectors with our web API. So from there, it can access to Canary to grab the data. But again, it can be in other format like MQTT will republish again and whatever format. But in this case, it can be just only with a web API that have a connector to Canary to work on it. And eventually, SameGuard will have the AI engine to analyze, and then furthermore to really put some action and respond what you're going to do next when you see certain things happening. So that's why it is something like I would say in a sister and brother solutions that is good, I mean, to really add on top of to your value to your customers. Yeah. So I pass back to Hisham at the next. Hisham, I think you're muted, Hisham.
Yeah, this is my slide.
Yeah, Hisham, please go ahead, Hisham.
Hisham,
Maya,
please.
Maya, I think
okay.
this is your slide.
No,
Yes.
no problem. Okay. Okay, so I would switch to the next because this is we already covered. So I will with my. I cannot switch. Okay, good. Okay,
Very good.
thank you. So,
Thank you very much.
can you hear me?
Yes, very clear.
Can you hear me? It's okay. Okay. Perfect.
Yes.
Okay. So last thing which we would like to elaborate is about our premium service. I think I have delay with, okay, premium service. Hisham a bit talked about it. I would like to elaborate more about it. So we have a very experienced and expert people, excellent people in our DTE team. DTE means digital transformation expert, which brings a lot of experience, hands-on experience, and understanding both of predictive analytics as well as processing. As they are very familiar also with the side of our software with SamGuard, we actually enabling a very fast understanding both of the SamGuard system as well as the alerts that we receive from and we are able to provide clear people, process engineers, and all the operational team in the production floor are really stressful and have a lot of surprises during the day. And we really understand these pain points and really understand what is actually important to the process engineers and can speak their language. We also understand that many times the culture of all the chain in the production is not always aligned with the digitalization and the transformation to digital area. And therefore, we are there to bridge those gaps, both the cultural as well as the technical. We are closely supporting you and make sure that nothing falls between the chairs, even in the most high workload. We will be there to make sure that all the alerts receive the right attention. 1 second, we will receive the next page. Oh, perfect. Here, what we have, we thought that it will be interesting for you, is the Food Engineering magazine. This is a quote of one of our great customers in the food and beverage industry. What we can see here is that they're talking about the fact that many times we have a sudden a process upset or equipment failure, and they lead to some failures that if we will not put an immediate attention to, we will get to troubles. And therefore, what they say about the work with us is that with SoundGuard, the team is notified of any potential process upset before they happen. And then they're able to make the decision how to schedule the maintenance and to manage, to plan the downtime, and rather than to find unplanned downtime. And this thing is very essential and it's costly. So this is a feedback from one of our customers. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Maya, Hisham, and Joe for the presentation. So we are now going into the second part of our session today, which is the interactive session. So we have three panelists here, and Joe will also double as the moderator. So he has prepared some questions for Maya and Hisham. And since this is a discussion, all our participants are also welcome to unmute themselves to ask questions.
Yep.
If you're a bit shy, then you can just type in the chat box. Okay.
Thanks, Laura. Well, I think the first is that I think we talk about AI and predictive maintenance and all this stuff. You know, sometimes can be quite a lot of things too when you deep dive into it. But for our partners, I will ask on behalf one or two questions. The first important is that, so if we were to going to see the, you know, I mean the stakeholders, you know, I will address to you know, Hisham and Maya. So to what kind of like cost savings that we can have some keywords that we can pitch from the stakeholders, you know. So I mean, any like kind of like return of investment, you know, what kind of like savings that you're talking about? I mean, what would you say on that?
Yeah. So probably, yes, I could elaborate on this, and probably also Maya could add something on that for sure. Usually there is a minimum cost when saving an equipment. There is a minimum cost, which is the cost of the equipment itself. So if some guard will alert you weeks or months before the issue escalates, that means some guard is saving you a damage, saving you probably a stoppage of production, which is the worst case scenario, if an action will not be taken at time. So on the dashboard, and Maya has demoed that before, of some guard, you can see a minimum cost and a maximum cost. So a minimum cost could be the cost of the equipment itself that some guard has alerted you about. Some guard told you, for example, it could be a mechanical problem, it could be any other issue that some guard highlights. And our service team will help you to take accurate actions to save that equipment and to do the necessary maintenance. In case that will not be done, probably this could cause a damage to the equipment. Yeah. And then there is a cost of changing the equipment. On top of that, if an action will not be taken, for example, then this could escalate and cause even a production stoppage, which could actually cost hundreds of thousands or millions in some cases. And maybe Maya could also mention something.
But just a pause there. Will it be measurable? Let's say if the partners of us, you know, to facing an end customer and they ask the same question. So let's say, yeah, I do have some cost losses of production. How do you work out and measurable? You know, I mean, like
Okay.
proposals.
Yeah.
Maya?
Okay. First of all, I will answer as well what you just asked about. I would like to elaborate on what Hisham said. When we talk about failures, there is a very, very high percentage of the cases in which you can see retroactively that there were early indications in the data. The problem is that we're talking about big data. And then this is why it was overlooked and you receive eventually the data. I like to talk about it like safety. When you treat the small things that almost happened, you prevent the big issue that you will prevent it from happening. So the same here, as you will be able to turn yourself, the mind, from chasing after fires into proactive fix of small anomalies and small indications of things, you would be able to manage a continuous process with high quality, with very, very low amount of surprises. And this is, I think, what every production is aiming to regarding the estimations. we have a way to estimate. Of course, it will be in a collaboration with the process, as they have the numbers, their own numbers. But we have a methodology in which we are asking the process engineers, more or less, like in very high level, I'm explaining it. We're asking how severe it was, whether there were or there were not redundancy, and etc. and etc. And we are able to estimate a number from which we will get the value.
Thanks, Maya. I mean that means I think for all the members in the room that Maya and Hisham will be able to assist, in a way to build up a
Yes.
measurable proposal in the case that I mean the management would like to know, what kind of like return of investment, cost saving that we can have. Yeah.
No, actually, I totally understood Maya and also Hisham message. So basically, the value creation that they are mentioning is that the cost saving in terms of predicting equipment failure versus the equipment failure physically, because it will cost millions over to the client itself to get a replacement, and also the downtime period, turnaround, those kind of thing. Am I right, Hisham and also Maya?
Yes, absolutely correct.
Yeah.
So on top of that, usually according to our experience and what we know, which is the hidden costs that most of companies and manufacturers do not share, is they go through when they produce their ROI documentation. We know that they go through losses on a yearly basis that could be between $80,000 to $400,000 a year.
Yeah,
So
normally based on my experience too, if let's say in any occasion happen during the equipment failure, of course the management they might need to know what is the root cause analysis over the downtime. So this is
exactly,
where they will measure the cost of the impact of the downtime, which versus the cost, and then
yeah.
versus they need to match with the expectation production, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they face losses from random maintenance costs, unexpected issues. As you know, the maintenance team could not predict an issue before it happens. There are thousands or hundreds of sensors embedded in a plant, which is impossible for a human being to track efficiently, maybe, or precisely, and understand or expect or predict that this equipment is going to fail or to have a problem, which SamGuard can easily track and deliver. So SamGuard prevents these surprises by detecting problems early. So plants avoid unplanned shutdowns, cut maintenance expenses. Those all random maintenance expenses will be eliminated, and also save significant money every year. And that's why when I started the presentation, we started with the slide of the losses that big manufacturers go through on a yearly basis. So it's an average of 11% of their revenues are lost due to unplanned downtime or random maintenance costs or unexpected issues that happens every time.
Yeah. I do totally agree.
Yeah. And the good thing, so there are actually two very good elements about SamGuard. The first one, the alert that you receive before issues escalate. So you get an alert weeks or months before, even from a small deviation that happens in a plant, SamGuard will alert you. Yeah. And so then you have plenty of time to act before the issue escalate.
Mhm.
Number two is our process engineers, is the service that we provide to our clients. And that's why most of our global clients, when they renew the contract with SamGuard, they still always ask for the service because they realize the value of our service. Our process engineers do not only focus on the alert that SamGuard has sent, also they check the surrounding sensors and the surrounding equipments to make sure that they are not also contributing to the failure or to the issue or to the alert or to the nuisance that happened. Then they share those findings with the plant managers or the maintenance team to help them take accurate action. So this is extremely important, that it's not only the precision of SamGuard, is the care that our process engineers take to make sure that you are taking correct action and also somehow, some way motivating you to move forward and take an action. Yeah. Sometimes when an issue, it appears to you not serious, but our process engineers can investigate thoroughly the issue and highlight to you that this might be a serious issue and requires immediate action. So actually, they help you understand deeper and better what's going on in your plant. Yeah, and this is also a very important aspect. Ajinomoto, for example, in the USA, after they leveraged the SamGuard capabilities for the first year contract, they experienced the benefits of our services. They renewed the contract few months ago, and they still want to get the service for the full year. And now we signed with them again the contract. We have also the other branch of Ajinomoto in Thailand. They compared SamGuard with few other competitors, and they decided to move forward with SamGuard because actually they have real life after the demos, after a real life experience, after receiving references from other clients and talking to them, after understanding from them about what SamGuard is really capable of delivering, the savings that actually SamGuard creates to clients, the losses that has been totally eliminated after talking to those clients and understanding what SamGuard has done to them. Yeah. Then they decided to move forward with SamGuard, and this is a second contract we have with Ajinomoto in Thailand just a couple of months ago. And now we are finalizing the project with them. So as soon as a client actually experiences SamGuard capabilities, he will really understand because he will see benefits straight away. Cut of costs of losses that has been going for maybe years or months, and it just requires a decision. The cost of SamGuard itself is definitely much cheaper than those random costs and unexpected issues that all plants go through on a yearly basis and all manufacturing companies go through on a yearly basis. SamGuard totally eliminate those losses, or at least shorten them, and save a lot of money for the clients. On the dashboard, every time when SamGuard sends an alert, when an issue is highlighted, when an action is taken, the plant managers will put an estimated amount or cost that SamGuard has saved. Then, after a few months or after a year, they can clearly see the savings that SamGuard has created. They can share this report with the stakeholders, with the senior management, or with some other team members to help them clearly understand the issues happened, what SamGuard has delivered, the savings at the end of the year, which is always great and fantastic according to the feedback we receive from all our global active clients. And we are always more than happy to provide a reference from any of our clients and put any of your client in contact with the technical team of an active user of SamGuard.
Isham, I would like to elaborate a bit about one important point. In our system, we use three types of alerts. One type of alert is the heart of the system, and this is what Hisham elaborated during the slides about the history and the diagrams, which converts everything into models. And this type is would have also recommendations. Another type is additional on-top layer in which we also monitor not only the equipment, also we monitor the tags themselves for different phenomena that we know that we should alert about, like gradual drifts, like oscillations that we had in the use cases, like stagnation that I showed in the use cases. All those are another layer of protection in addition to the heart of the system. Additionally, what we have is customized alerts. In this type of alerts, what we have is for specific scenarios which the customer would like to cover and make sure that it will not be missed even if the control room will somehow ignore it. For those use cases, we are able to predefine some rule and together with recommendation. And this would be also another type of alert that is available for you. The same is for this alert. We are also able to cover situations like in case that you have a raw data, let's say of flow, but you want to know the average flow per hour. So these calculations and functions on top of your raw data is also available in this type of alert.
Thanks, Maya. So we got another questions that talk about. I think Brian, you want to unmute yourself to ask the question?
Yeah, I'm not sure whether you can hear me or not.
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I think first thing is I think for most of us when we talk about AI, so that there was always some expectation from the client side that they are when I have an AI that it could run by itself, it can tell me what's right and wrong, what I should do, right? Even they're talking about that there's a more on the prescriptive. So to avoid any of the over expectation, what kind of expectation that we should give it to let them be aware of, to our the prospect, to avoid that is they are overly expecting what the same card can really do. Do you understand what I mean? Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
Hisham?
Yeah, go ahead, Maya. Sorry.
And now I wanted to clarify the question. If I understand correctly, can you clarify it again, please? Brian?
Yeah. Okay. I think the question is that when it comes to AI, there is a lot of time that the customer will expect that AI will tell them not only what's the problem that they have, they might even able to tell them the solution, right? So, but then again, what kind of expectation that we should give to to let them make aware of, prior to we after we implement the project, what are they going to expect of it? Because we will try to avoid any over expectation from the client as well.
Sure. I fully agree with you. So first of all, regarding the onboarding, usually we do a very quick onboarding. We talk about, let's say if it's 1,000 tags, so it's about in 2 months we are able already to run the system. And usually we begin with a shorter scope and then we elaborate to more, but this is totally on the customer side. We're able to deal with any scope that he will allow us to model. Regarding the expectations, so this is something that I just explained, and I will explain it again. And there are several types of alerts. The tag alerts is directly showing you the phenomena, for example, drift, as well as the tag which shows this phenomena. So this is very, very quick analysis and understandable exactly what are you looking for and what do you need to check about this phenomena. The custom alert also is something that is 1-0. Whenever the rule is true, you will receive an alert and it's very clear. Last type of alert, this is something that we usually investigate. We have additional things that allow us to investigate, like the diagrams that we have incorporated in the system, like influencers' recommendations that we receive from the AI system, from the models. And in addition, we will have very, very soon the recommendations, real recommendations of please check the seal, please check the blockage, and etc.
Thanks, Maya. I think we'll try to leave some time for others that would like to ask some question to Maya and Hisham.
Yeah.
I think we all are friends inside the chat room. Just let shoot some even sensitive question. You can ask Maya and Hisham.
Hi, this is Cairo here from Half Energy.
Yeah, Cairo.
I like to ask some very basic question first. Okay, first and foremost, the service that SAMGA is providing is to analyze, do data analytics, and then provide a form of alert, maybe a form report to the client. Am I right?
Yeah.
So
the service is provided. The algorithm is providing the alerts. Customer is more than welcome to check the alerts together with the service team. The service team is here to support, because from our experience, the first year, at least the first year, is we need to bridge this gap that I talked about before of technology as well as cultural gap. And we want to make sure that the system is not just, we gave you the system and it's the background. We want to make sure that it is an integral part of the everyday life in the production floor. And this is why we are there.
yeah, okay. So step by step. Let's say I'm asking very basic question. So the service that you're providing is actually partly taking away some of the factory or manufacturing plants, the process engineering job. You are basically relieving or taking away some of the jobs of the process process engineering. Am I right?
Yeah, and the service team is not a process engineer in the matter of the everyday work of the process engineer on site, but the process engineer of our team is a person who will support you with all related alerts from the SAMGuard system, and will make sure that everything receives the attention. All the really important alerts receive the attention, even if the process engineer is busy today. But the collaboration is between the process engineer of the plant, in addition to the process engineer of SAMGuard.
I believe Cairo is not really replaced, Cairo. Basically, what they do, I think what Maya mentioned is.
I think let me try to assist here. So basically, SAMGuard is accommodating process engineer in terms of identifying all these alert, alarm related to all the instrumentation. It's not by overtaking the role of process engineer, because the ecosystem is they need to have both human and also machine. So all the process engineer might need to use, or maybe has been using the predictive tools similar to SAMGuard, which is to monitor and then to look at their instrument traction in terms of what's going on, what fluctuation, this kind of thing, failure, which contribute to the alarm, dashboarding, and so on. That's about it, Encik Khairul.
In short,
understand.
in short, it's more like adoption. So let's how to
correct.
adopt to the technology.
Agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, fully understand. Because the reason I'm asking is not I'm complaining about because you can see that most of the factories, they are reducing their headcount, especially nowadays engineers. So why? And maybe this is one of the justification, by adopting the SAMGuard solution, then you can actually relieve, or in short, you can also reduce the number of your engineering headcount, because a portion of process which process engineers are supposed to do, which is to capture the data, to analyze, and to even to predict. All this done, they require a lot of time, plus the statistical tools in order to do this. So basically, the system is actually helping to simplify, to accelerate the part of the process engineer's job, so that they can make a better judgment, better prediction, as well as a better decision. Okay. So that's what I'm getting at.
Actually, this is something that I sometimes say, is that when I was a process engineer, I wish I had a tool like SAMGuard that would whisper me, Maya, notice here and here, and make my work much more efficient, and also take out the blind spots that I cannot see through the traditional control system.
Okay. So my next question would be, you mentioned about you have algorithm to do the analysis, to do the prediction as well. So all these are developed together with the statistical people, statistics experts, or
we have experts. Everything from the first note of the code is written in our place. It's everything written from scratch. Nothing nothing was took from open source or something like that. And we have a team of algorithm experts which writing all these logics. Yes.
Okay. And next is my question would be the parameters normally or the response or the result. Normally factories would like to control the limits, the tolerances. Okay. So basically, SAMGUARD will work with the personnel of the factory or engineers with the factory to develop these limits, these tolerances, because you need to have that limits in order for you to trigger alert, right? So
No, actually, we are not using the plant limits. We are not using the minimum and maximum from the plant. The algorithm itself is building the models. The models
okay.
of normal behavior are actually quite similar, but not exactly to the minimum and maximum that you establish in the plant, but they are built without human interaction. It's built according to the history plus the models, plus the diagrams of the process which provide the context. And then behind the scenes, we receive those thresholds, but they are not aligned or they are not based or on any information from the plant regarding the limits. It is not relevant to us.
Okay.
Otherwise, you will receive a duplication of your system. Why would you like that? So we have our own independent algorithm which builds the models of normal behavior, and according to that, the thresholds to alerts are decided by the algorithm.
Yeah. So let me confirm again. So basically,
sorry, Encik Khairul. Team, I have another technical meeting at 5 o'clock, so I will be leaving soon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No problem,
So
no
we
problem.
can conclude.
Any more
or
questions from the floor that anyone that we can ask Maya
Yeah.
and
Yes, you
Hisham?
can take one more question, I think.
Yes.
If you can agree to have another 5 minutes, doesn't matter if any questions from the floor, from any gentlemen.
Well, I have.
Yes.
Yes, Chang
Okay.
Ping. Yep.
One question on that. You mentioned about predictive maintenance to reduce the unplanned or planned maintenance cost from the customer. So I just curious that what if in the plant we don't have the vibration sensor or any acoustic sensor in the plant, just only the process instrument like or temperature or level transmitter? Would that be able to predict from your modeling or your algorithm?
So every signal, thank you for the question. Every signal that you would be able to provide us, we will be able to monitor and integrate it into our model in order to create those clusters of normal behavior. We actually rely more on process rather than vibrations because we believe that we need to see all the picture and not only one type of sensor, not only vibration, not only temperature. We believe that we need to see all the information in order to allow you to see the full picture and to alert about blind spots. So no problem if you don't have vibration, as long as you will receive, and we will be able to receive early indications on other sensors. This is one point. Another point is that in case that you do wish to add some sensors, we would be able to assist you with a digital audit and to give you suggestions about what do we think that you should add, and then to work with another company that can provide you those sensors, or if you wish to do it independently, also fine.
Yeah, we can have like install the vibration sensor and other sensor to make your system generate like more accurately in terms of prediction. Yes, we can, but in that point of view, in the DCS control system or any like canary, they cannot do like some root mean square or Fourier transform like that, like because those gonna be another section of the predictive maintenance in terms of motor, in terms of big machine. So I just curious that how accurate you can get if you don't have that information of like root mean square or Fourier transform from the vibration sensor.
Okay, so I hope that I answered. I will just add additional part. In the sensors themselves as well, we are able to differentiate between the different equipment, because we understand that not all the equipments are actually equal. For example, a pressure in a compressor, probably you would like to know about any anomaly that will occur. But if we talk about a level in a tank, probably we would like to know only if there is some big anomaly that happens. And for that, we also have a sensitivity feature in which we can differentiate between the different equipment.
Okay. One last question then. So how
Sure.
big the project is going to be that I need to use your platform, because it seems like you need to provide the services and you need to provide some of expertise, and you need to make sure that the modeling that we created for that customer need to be the right model. So it means that we need to like having a lot of services team or manpower on that. So the budget will be
Probably the skill
quite
of the
big.
project and how much it will start, something like that. Yeah, Hisham.
Yeah. The minimum requirement for starting the project with
Good
a
question.
good ROI. Yeah.
So the minimum requirement for beginning a process would be a server on which SamGuard will run. It could be on the customer side. It could be on our private cloud. It depends on the customer. And the technical requirements, I think in this point, it's not really critical. So when we get to the specific customers, we would share the technical requirements. Additionally, what we need is diagram of the process in order to build this digital plant model, and which provide the algorithm the context. When we have the server, yes.
No, I think that's the in terms of the start of the project, Shankrit, as long as if you can find out and investigate if the plant they suffer losses more than 100,000 USD due to certain this issue of unforeseen, that is something you can start immediately kickstart. So
Yeah.
there is always
I quite understand. I have no doubt on your knowledge and in your modeling, but I just doubt on that the big how many pack or how many IO should I start with this platform? I believe that I cannot start with just only 10 machines, right? Because that's going to be too
good question.
Yeah. How big?
I would say that usually our process are from 500, let's say, and can go to 10,000 and even more sensors. And usually this is what we would recommend, but if you have some smaller plant, we can discuss and speak about it, and probably we will manage to monitor it as well. And probably if you have a plant with 10 sensors, you would not like to have AI-based machine learning. But if you have more like tens of sensors and more, so then probably this is relevant for you.
Okay, because in my market in industry that we take care for the customer, we have small, medium, and big customer, right? So we have like 1,000 IO, 5,000 IO, or to 20,000 IO. And when the customer think about the predictive maintenance, sometimes they forget on their big machine. So their big machine may be just only 5 or 6 or 10 machine in that plant that they focusing on. So if we calculate to the IO that according to that machine, maybe it's come to 100 or 200, right? But in terms of you, maybe is there are another environment or another information that gonna help you modeling or give you more information to have the good model for prediction. So I understand that. So your based on your recommendation, so 500 should be the minimum start from that, right? And you have the
but also we can deal with less. We should see for each case and check it
and
to
what
see
pricing
how
model is going to be if we plan to have the on-premise server in customer plant. So the pricing model, how do you calculate that?
And Hisham, would you like to speak about the pricing model, or should I say in a few words?
Yes. So thank you so much. So before we go to the pricing model, usually I would prefer Joey to mention the prices to his clients, but I can just give a general idea about the pricing model of SamGuard and how it's aligned for transparency with our clients with the number of embedded sensors in the plant. But before I go into that, I just want to highlight the ideal scenario where we can see SamGuard work with its full precision, I would say, and capabilities. Is we would need a few number of sensors. So the ideal scenario is from, I would say, 400-500 sensors and more and few months of data historian. The ideal scenario is 12 months, is 1 year, to understand the seasonal variation of the behavior of the plant throughout the entire year. However, 150, 200 sensors are enough. 2-3 months of data are also enough, and some guard can deliver great results still. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, maybe we can share the price each.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
because I think
regarding
we
the
want to leave it to the floor if any more questions, for another 1 or 2 questions. Yeah.
Yeah, so we can just quickly in a few seconds mention the prices a year. So up to 500 sensor, the total price a year, including the service, subscription and service together, will be 45,000 euro. Up to 1,000 sensor, it's 65,000 euro. Up to 1,000 sensor, it's 90,000 euro. So up to 500, 45,000. Up to 1,000, 65,000. Up to 5,000 sensors, it's 90,000 euro. And up to 10,000 sensors, it's 110,000 euro. And that's both the yearly subscription and the service together. The service for the first year is mandatory, is important, because we want to make sure that the first year will be a great experience, that the customer can understand that SamGuard can deliver great results, and the experience is great. From the second year, the client can say that I do not want the service and I can just purchase supporting hours and move forward with SamGuard. So then instead of the service, they can purchase supporting hours.
Okay, I have to moderate you to stop radiation. Any more question from the floor in case that because we already overshoot. I mean, if you can 1 or 2 questions, we can take. That from the floor.
Yeah. Joe, hi, David here.
Yeah, David, yes, go
Okay,
ahead.
I've got a engineering question. Maybe this is towards Maya. Would it be better to have design data included to feed your algorithms in the data? Because what I'm thinking is, if you put the AI getting data from a sick plant, we are only optimizing a sick plant. What do you think?
First of all, I want to emphasize that what we do in this specific module that we're talking about is monitoring the plant and looking for upcoming failures and early indications to prevent those failures. You are totally right that now in parallel we're working on another model which will be expertise in optimization of the plant. Additional point is that in the way of monitoring the plant, in the indirect way, we also optimize the plant because we catch all those small inefficiencies and all those small problems that cause inefficiency. But the direct activity of this module is to monitor the plant rather than optimize it. Okay. So regarding the information that we need to incorporate into the digital plant, we're talking about the impact of the sensors and the equipment between each other. Which sensor, for example, the temperature out of the heat exchanger is impacting on the flow of the pump, and the pump is impacting on the pressure of the control valve, and then control valve is impacting the level of the next tank. So this is what we do. We build a chain of impact and allow the algorithm to understand the context of the process. We do not need, stoichiometric parameters and etc. This is not part of the modeling.
Right. Thank you. Thank you.
Sure.
Any more questions from the floor?
Actually, I do have two questions. I think it relate to the previous question. I think I got a good opportunity for the custody measuring. Have anyone have experience to implement the SamGuard to the metering system? Do you have any experience on that? They would like to monitor. Normally nowadays they do daily monitor all the parameter. Is it okay? Some pressure, some temperature machine or some flow machine. And once they detect any change, they're gonna go to observe if any instrument or equipment get failing. So I think this, I just got an inquiry from the customer, and I think this is really good opportunity to try the safeguard on the metering circuit or the custody transfer. So do you have it? But it's quite related to optimization, but the purpose is for maintenance. Do you have any explanation on this one? And I think it's quite interesting.
Can you repeat the type of equipment that you talked about?
About the custody transfer, when we do the selling of the gas from the one plant to another plant, there will be we call the metering skid that have the mainly is a flow instrument, it's a flow measurement, and they have so many equipment like a pressure transmitter, temperature transmitter, and also they have the control valve. And normally the flow should be normal
Stable.
because they sell the gas in the constant rate, but every day the maintenance guy they're gonna observe if the flow is changed, or sometimes they detect the change manually because they do it every morning.
Yeah.
And
So this is
most
yeah.
and sometimes they found that some instruments got an error.
Faulty.
Yeah, and maybe some valve got some leak, so the flow is changed.
I think the question is, Maya, whether we have some use case before in this industry from Sondichai.
So from what I understand, you're talking about a skid that reduces the pressure, right? The like PRMS, something like that.
Something like that. I think actually it's for me, I think it's a good opportunity. But if you have some experience to share, I think we can. But
directly, I do not have a use case with that, but we definitely have use cases with control valves, with pumps, with flow and etc. and leakages. So we would be able to provide use cases.
Yeah, we can send to you, Sondichai, some of the use case that has been done that quite near to the same industry before. Yeah.
But this one is okay. I think this one I can work it out by myself. And another question is quite interesting. I try to sell the concept of the maintenance because my background is a maintenance to my partner, to my customer. That once if we have the predictive maintenance like Samguard, that is overcome the preventive maintenance. You can reduce some maintenance preventive maintenance tasks like a low level, low critical, medium critical, high critical. Once you implement the safeguard, you can eliminate the low critical or maybe medium critical. So
I think in all stages we are sometimes yeah.
But I just would like to know if you have any standard for that or any document to reference that once we have predictive maintenance, you can skip the low critical, the medium critical, preventive maintenance work.
What we do is that we estimate together with the customer the valuable use cases, and for some he provide a number like a value. For some he provide estimation, for example, impact on the environmental hazardous situation, etc. And I don't think that it would be correct to write that we eliminate the lower level, the medium level, or high level. It would be correct that what we do is that we impact on the maintenance as well, because eventually all the alerts are converted into SAP or other system that gives the action required to the maintenance. But we definitely impact on the planned maintenance, that there will be less surprises and that they will manage and will be able to schedule the maintenance rather than to be surprised and to handle and chase fires, actually.
I hope we answer your question. Yeah. So, Sondichai. But anyway, you can follow up with any questions to us. I think we can connect Maya together again for anything that you need to know. Yeah. So probably we can take the last question. Anyone? So there's another question from Pong Saton. generally we sold the software with remote service, but some kind of customer sensitive about the remote access. What is the service we can propose instead of normal practice?
In the first year, the service is provided a full package of service. We have, by the way, two services: the service of the delivery team, which provides all the topics of the data and the server and etc. And we have the service of the process engineer who works with the customers. And starting from the second year, if customer willing to be independent, so he could be partially independent, and then he can buy packages of hours of support, or in case that he wants to be totally independent, he can also take out the service part from the business plan. But in general, as Hisha mentioned, many times due to the fact that the production team are really overloaded, and they really like the service team, they like to work with it, they find it very impactful and efficient, and they stay with the full package. But it's really flexible according to customer wants.
Oh, I believe, thanks, Maya. I think we believe we have overshoot the time a lot. Thanks for your time, everyone. I guess that is even not enough for the 2 hours. So we try to see any question that you may want to ask. We can have a separate session and to come back to you. I mean, because it's a very exciting time, exciting things that we can bring forward. This very proposition to you, the end customers. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Joe,
Hisham, yeah.
yeah, Joey, thank you so much. I really appreciate. Also, thank you so much for the questions, everyone.
Yeah.
Maybe just to conclude, and in case anyone remembers a question at the last minute, that's still most than welcome. Otherwise, you can send us an email.
Yeah.
But to conclude, starting from maybe the vibration sensor question that Maya received and has answered clearly. So even without vibration sensors, SamGuard remains very accurate because it uses the data that plants already have, like pressure, flow, temperature, and other process signals. And then our AI learns the normal behavior of the whole plant, so it can detect early warning signs across the entire system or plant, not just from the vibration. And of course, vibration adds another useful layer, but it's not required for SamGuard to deliver strong results. So then to conclude, SamGuard covers the entire plant, not just few critical equipments. It's easy to implement. It requires no additional investment. We work with the sensors already in place. We do not ask you to embed more sensors. Also, for your information, please remember this. We are not a sensor provider. We do not provide the sensors. So some clients, they ask us if we can embed sensors. So we are not providing the sensors. We work with the sensors you already have, and we do not also integrate the sensors. And SamGuard then, once implemented, starts delivering value right away. So at the core, and one of the most important things is our SamGuard, it's AI, which detects problems early before they grow into costly failures of shutdowns. And behind the technology, we provide the service and support, making sure you get real measurable results. So I hope this concludes at least the main points about SamGuard. And if there are any further questions, please feel free either to email Joey directly or to email us directly.
Yep. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Maya. Thanks, Hisham. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, everybody, for joining the SamGuard Interactive Exchange session today. Thank you, Hisham and Maya, for providing answers to all our questions. I think that we might have more questions, but we are running out of time today. So as mentioned, if you have any further questions about SamGuard, you feel free to contact our metrics team or to Maya and Hisham. And we look forward to seeing you at our next session. So thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.